You think you know NATO, right? The most powerful military alliance in history? But what if I told you the story most of us know is only half true? Let's peel back the layers and find out what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, we've all heard it 1,000 times. It's that core promise, right? The idea that if anyone messes with one member, they're messing with all 32. It sounds like an unbreakable shield, this massive automatic response. And it is powerful, no doubt about it. But what does it really mean, like in practice? Does it mean tanks start rolling the second an attack happens? An automatic, no questions asked declaration of war? Well, the truth is, it's not that simple. Not even close. And honestly, it might surprise you. So let's dig in. Okay, so to really get what NATO is all about today, we've got to jump in a time machine and go way back to a world that was basically defined by one thing: fear. Picture this. World War II is over, but Europe is just shattered. It's weak, it's broken, and everyone is looking over their shoulder at the Soviet Union, which is expanding its influence, creeping westward. The fear was real. So, in 1949, a group of 12 nations, with the US kind of leading the charge, came together. They created NATO for one simple, powerful reason: to have each other's backs. And that's where Article 5 comes in. That's the official name for that attack on one is an attack on all idea. It was supposed to be the ultimate insurance policy. But, and this is a big but, the way it actually works, yeah, it's probably not what you think. All right, first things first. Who's really in charge here? I mean, is this thing a true partnership of equals, or is there one big player calling all the shots? So if you look at the official rules, it seems pretty clear-cut. Every single member, doesn't matter if they're huge or tiny, gets one vote. And for anything major to happen, everyone has to agree. It's all about consensus. Sounds fair, right? But the reality is a whole different story. Let's just follow the money for a second. The United States foots a huge chunk of the bill for NATO. I mean, a massive slice of the pie. And when you're paying that much, well, you're going to have a lot of say in where things are headed. And it's not just about the cash. Think about it. The US military is, by far, the most powerful. Almost any big NATO operation depends on American tech. We're talking satellites, advanced jets, the really critical weapons systems. So, yeah, everyone gets a vote, but it's pretty clear who's got their hands on the steering wheel. Okay, let's get to the main event, the Article 5 paradox. This is where what we think NATO is and what it actually is, well, they really split apart. All right, quick quiz. In NATO's entire history, we're talking over 70 years, how many times do you think Article 5 has actually been used? Take a guess. The answer? Just once. That's it. And it was triggered by the US after 9/11. And here's the kicker. Look at how it works. Step 1, an attack happens. Step 2, everybody gets together to talk about it. But step 3, this is the crucial part. It doesn't say everyone sends their armies. It says each country chooses what to do. They decide for themselves. There's no automatic trigger, no guarantee of troops on the ground. So what does that mean? It means Article 5 is like a giant flashing neon sign to the world that says, we stand together. It's an incredibly powerful political message. But it's not a button that automatically launches an army. It never was. Okay, so if Article 5 isn't the magic button we thought it was, then where does NATO's real power come from? I mean, how does it actually stop a war before it even begins? Well, the answer is in the details, the stuff that doesn't make headlines. Things like interoperability, which is just a fancy way of saying that a Polish soldier and a Portuguese soldier can use the same bullets and talk on the same radio. Or joint logistics, which means there's this huge coordinated system for getting fuel, food, and supplies where they need to go. It's all this nitty-gritty practical stuff that makes these 32 different armies able to work like one giant, well-oiled machine. And when you look at the raw numbers, it's just staggering. Against a potential adversary like Russia, NATO has way more soldiers, a budget that's in a different universe, and a huge tech advantage. In a straight-up conventional fight, it's no contest. But there's a catch. There's one thing that changes the entire game. That number, that's roughly how many nuclear warheads Russia has. And that right there is the great equalizer. It's the one weapon that makes all that conventional power almost irrelevant. It's why a direct war is something nobody, and I mean nobody, wants. And that brings us to the real heart of NATO's strategy.
The goal isn't to win a war against a nuclear power, because nobody wins that. The goal is to make sure that war never, ever starts. It's all about deterrence. It's about making the price of starting a fight so insanely high, politically, economically, for everyone, that your opponent doesn't even think about it. That's the whole game. Prevent the fight before the first punch is ever thrown.
So this whole strategy has worked for more than 70 years. It's been incredibly successful. But what about now? The world is changing fast, and the biggest threats to the alliance might not be from the outside anymore, but from the inside. The big question is, can this all hold together?
I mean, you've got serious disagreements between members, like with Turkey, for example. You've got constant arguments over who's paying their fair share for defense. And then you look outside, and you see the rise of China. You see new power blocks like BRICS forming, and you even have questions about whether the US will stay as committed as it's always been. All of this is putting a massive strain on the alliance's unity. Which leaves us with the million-dollar question for NATO's future. Is it still that powerful, unified shield we all think it is? Or are all these cracks and pressures going to turn it into, well, just a symbol, a club with no real teeth? Honestly, only time's going to tell.